morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Happy Sri Lankan New Year. It is Sunday, fun day. And we're going to have a really good time today. We're going to be talking about Sri Lankan New Year, some of the tradition, some of the events happening um, this weekend, this long weekend, Sri Lankan New Year long weekend. Let's fix this monitor. Why is it out of whack? We have to figure out what's going on with these monitors, why they're moving around. I think it's because this pole is out of whack. I notice these. Why do I notice these things on the live stream? All right, let's make sure the sound is working well. All right, yeah, it sounds good. All right, guys, thanks for joining today. I'm Sri Lankan, semi-retired with mom and dad. And this is my live stream that I do every weekend, so I want to thank you for joining us. Please click the link down below and comment. Let me know where you're from and say hi. Let's do it like that. All right. And if you're watching after the fact, please comment so that this helps the channel grow a little bit. Sri Lankan New Year, just like most other places, Sri Lankan New Year is a tradition. Oh, sorry, I don't want to say Sri Lanka. I shouldn't say Sri Lankan New Year. It's Sinhala New Year and Tamil New Year. The timing is based on the traditional calendars of South Asia. And it's the new moon in April. And most families get together. So most businesses will close for a week. It's a 3-day long weekend here. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Saturday was the full moon. Sunday today is New Year's, and Monday's a holiday. And it's traditionally after the harvest of spring. So there's different things that we do, and we're gonna talk about that Sri Lankans do. But if you're online, please click the link, say hi. Some other side news on the channel before we get into the traditions and stuff like that. Please support Lady Sarah. Go to her channel, Sarah's SARAH' menu, and watch some of her videos. Click like, subscribe, and say hi. Let her know that I sent you over there. She's doing a food channel. It's eating. She loves that. She just got monetized. So she's very excited. Okay, what is that on the floor here? Sorry, there's some garbage on the floor, and I don't have my long distance glasses on. I have just my indoor glasses on, so I can't see far away. Since I spend so much time in front of the computer in the room, I decided to get specialized glasses that focus just, on what I need to see in front of my face. And what that does is it helps the strain on my eyes by moving from one distance to another distance. Now I should, to help my eyes not get tired, is move away and look at something far away to for distance, but I'll worry about that later. Anyway, um, what else is going on? I had a video on, so I had a live stream on Thursday where we talked about the economy. So today we're going to talk about uh, retirement. No, we're going to talk about celebrations. The next video I have going on the channel will be talking about um, retirement, like investing for retirement. What I have seen over the last 50 years. Where should you um, look at? What mistakes did I make? Not what should you do. You know, I'm not an investor, so I have no idea what will or will not happen. Okay, I'm just talking about what I have seen happen over the last 50 years and where the smart money goes. Because there's a lot of smart people out there, but there's a lot of smart people who make money from other people. Those are the smart ones, my friend. So, I mean, talk about smart money. Today, I made money without even working, which is what I love. Is one of my clients called and said, do you mind if we cancel today's class? I said, yeah, no problem, because when you cancel, um, I still get paid. When you cancel last minute, I love that. So I just went right back to sleep because it was an early morning class. Anyway, the channel. Oh, yeah. Not the channel. Sorry, what am I talking about? Big shout out to my friend Tim, my brother Tim. You guys, if you're followers of the channel, know about him in uh, Philippines and in Korea. Um, so he got married yesterday. So big congratulations to him. Just got to send a message out to a couple friends just to remind them so that they can see the video. All right. All right. So, hey, Darren, no problem, brother. You enjoy the beautiful day out. Get some exercise, okay? That's always good for you. Good for everyone. Exercise, get out, enjoy life. Remember, learn to live life. Don't let life live you. You can catch the show on the not live, but you can catch it when you get back. I truly appreciate it, brother. Enjoy your day. Thanks again. Lots of love. Um, so Sri Lankan New Year. Jeez, everybody's messaging me at the same time. So, yeah, Sri Lankan New Year. What do we do? Well, here's the thing. I've celebrated, traditional New Year, December  31st. Then I've also celebrated Asian New Year, uh, which is everyone calls it Chinese New Year. But then I've also celebrated Korean New Year, and now I'm celebrating Sinhala and Tamil New Year, and just for let's just say Sri Lankan New Year. It's just a little easier for me to remember that because it's being celebrated here. Um, and they all have their unique traditions. But one of the things I noticed is that all the traditions are very family oriented, food oriented, and for kids, a lot of games and food. So let's go over that. So, like for example, in Korea, they have these traditional games that they play. The food is a big factor, and here in Sri Lanka, they have the same thing. So they have these things called kokis, Kokis, and they're star-shaped, hard, kind of like pastries. Very unique flavor. Very difficult to say what it tastes like. I can't really compare it to anything, but I would say it's um, sort of like a waxy kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I kind of like them. And the problem is that if you eat one, you can't stop. You got to eat more. Um, I have this like nail that not shredding, but it's there's a burr on the end, and that just annoys me because it rubs against my finger and catches on my finger. It's annoying as heck. All right, there's other little like pastries and things like that. Koda kavum, I've seen it. I don't like it. It's too thick and too heavy for my um, palate. Um, um, what else do they do? So and here's a unique thing about the Sri Lankan New Year is that the end of the old year and the beginning of the new year, there's a break of about 12 or 13 hours. And when it moves from Pisces to Aries, and when that transition happens, I mean, the center point of that transition is when the new year, the dawn of the new year. And during the transition, it's called the neutral period or auspicious time. And we as Sri Lankans are encouraged to refrain from material pursuits and solely engage in anything religious, spiritual, or traditional. Um, so a lot of people today will be cleaning their house. Um, Lighting oil lamps. Mom is already doing that. She's cleaned the whole house from top to bottom. Like we're talking in the kitchen, every shelf has been cleared of dishes and then wiped down. And she likes kitschy things, so the house is packed full of stuff that she never uses. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. I'm a minimalist, right? I have nothing, but she has stuff everywhere. Oh, when I have to clean out this house, it's going to be a nightmare. That's so morbid to think, I'm not worried about losing mom and dad. I'm more worried about the work I have to do to empty out the house. Um, so then there's like the traditional stuff. So, women will beat on a drum to announce the change of the year. Um, so lighting of fires, making of kiribat, which is milk rice tradition, entering a first business transaction, and eating the first morsels. They're all done in a ritualistic way, and they're based on where in the country, like whether and what religion are you, or what ethnicity you are, Sinhalese or Tamil. The core remains the same though. It's all traditional, and each one is during the auspicious time. Auspicious. I never understood what that meant until I arrived in Sri Lanka, which is an interesting thing. Is that um, things move very slowly here, especially when it's a big thing like building a house, getting married, doing anything that involves money or some kind of important life milestone is only conducted on an auspicious day. So, like laying the foundation of the house has to be done on an auspicious day. It has to be started on an auspicious day. Raising the roof can only be done on an auspicious day. I thought that, they said if things move here, they won't do it. And I'm like, yeah, that's the silliest thing I've ever heard, but it's traditional. Um, and then loud firecrackers, not fireworks, firecrackers. I want to make sure that you understand this. There's a difference between fireworks and firecrackers. Fireworks go up and then explode into bright lights and stuff like that. Firecrackers are explosives, plain and simple, ground explosives. They light off like if you can think of the Chinese New Year, where they light off all those things on the ground. They're noise makers. That's basically what they are, and that'll start at about evening time tonight. Firecrackers play a major role in tonight's celebrations. Um, so once the rituals are all done, the parties begin and families mingle in public. Homes are open to the public, and children are let out to play. Um, Plantain, oil cakes, um, and you'll find more of the celebrations in the suburbs as opposed to cities. The cities, it's more like organized community events. Um, let's see. Uh, so on this day, also this celebrated in parts of India, Bangladesh, West Bengal, Burma, Cambodia, Laos, Nepal, Thailand, which is Songkram, very famous, starts today as well, Songkran, um, and in Tamil areas of India. So that is the associated holidays of this time period. Um, so just seeing wedding pictures of my friend Tim. Ah, jeez, guy, let me tell you, that's his one, two, three, maybe his third marriage. It's his last one. It's his last one, definitely his last one. But I don't even know if it's his third. I know he's got. Oh, I think he's got two kids. I've met one. He got married for a short period of time when he was in Korea, and and now he's married again. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the show. Hope you're enjoying the Cherry Blossom Festival in Japan. Where in Japan are you from? I mean, I lived in Korea for 18 years. I've been to Japan many, many times. Tokyo, Osaka, Fukuoka, all the way up to Hokkaido. I miss Japan. Um, Thank you for joining. I hope you're enjoying Nagoya City. I traveled through Nagoya City by train. Stopped in Nagoya City for um a few minutes. I do remember it was beautiful. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have about Sri Lanka or anything. Thank you for joining. I truly appreciate the time. Uh, First person from, I'm going to assume you're Japanese. I don't know. I can't read Japanese, but I'm very happy to have you on the channel. Let me know if you're curious about anything about Sri Lanka, about retirement, or if you have any questions. More than happy to help you out. Um, so I'm the next video I'm going to be talking about. We're going to be focusing a little bit more on the channel. I'm going to be working a little bit harder on material and focusing a little bit more on material. So I think that starting in May, I'm going to go to two videos a week, one main live stream on the weekend, and then um, Wednesdays I will do a blog, a live blog with guests, and then Monday and Friday I'm going to do kind of a long form AI scripted video. I'm experimenting with a few of them to try to get my message out to the right people. And I think that an AI scripted speech about the topics that are interesting to you guys, I think is going to help the channel get out there. And retirement, how to live healthy. I'm going to focus on that little niche. So I'm going to be working on that. um, and hopefully you guys will stick around for that adventure. I've been. Oh, you came here 45 years ago. Wow, that was a long time ago. Let me tell you. And you want to retire in Sri Lanka? Let me tell you, that is great news to hear. I mean, Nagoya City doesn't get as cold as Hokkaido, but it does get a little. It's not as warm as Okinawa. I'll tell you that. But you're going to enjoy the weather. Let me tell you, people. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Things have changed in Sri Lanka. I wasn't here 45 years ago. I don't remember what it was like, but from what mom and dad tell me to what it's today, I think you should be prepared for a big, big change. Um, Specifically in the people. And when I say the people, I mean the culture has changed, it has evolved. Think of Japan. I mean, it has changed in 45 years. Even though Japan is a very, and I can say this because, I lived in Korea, and Korea and Japan share a common history, a common culture, and a common mind. Um, Japan and Korea are both very homogenous societies and very traditional and very what's the word, patriarchal. Um, that not that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's like that. That's how things are. I mean, things don't change very quickly in Japan and Korea. It takes a long time to change. I mean, Japan is still using fax machines because businesses don't want to change. Um, that's the culture. And in Sri Lanka, it's the same thing. The culture of Sri Lanka has not changed in the countryside, it has changed in the cities. And you'll notice that it's become, I don't know what to say, but what mom and dad have said to me leads me to believe that it's become a much more lazy society and a much more arrogant society in the cities. Oh, you were here last summer. Oh, wonderful. Okay, I didn't realize that. So I just wanted to warn you about coming here and expecting it to be the same as it was 45 years ago. Absolutely not. Do not expect that. Um, there's a lot of great things. First of all, first of all, you can get a lot of the things that you couldn't before. Um, Internet is a heck of a lot better. Communications, basic necessities of life. Transportation, not so much. Not so much. Hasn't changed much in 45 years, other than the one highway, two highways that they built. Still haven't built the third one. Um, Trains, I think, have gotten worse, is what mom has said. Um, but yeah, if you're going to come here and retire, then definitely you're going to find peace. You're going to find that little slice of heaven, and that's what I've been talking about this entire time on this channel is find your little slice of life, little slice of heaven, and then grab onto it. And make sure you don't jump into it head first. What you should do is you should not just to you but to everyone else is that who hasn't been here before. Excuse me. People who haven't been here before or thinking about coming to Sri Lanka or anywhere is to travel. Travel and find the place that fits you. Find the place that gets you here and here, okay? And here and here. You know, is it loud? Is it smelly? Does the food taste good? Are you okay with the people? Does it reach your heart? Every it has to check off every box. It has to check off tick off every box. And I did a video about this just a little while ago. Why do I travel so much? And the reason I travel so much is that I'm exploring places to find that one place um, that I can check off all the boxes. You know, do I enjoy it? Is it beautiful? Is the food okay? Is it does it hit all of my that play things that make me happy? Um, One of the things I love about where I live right now, it's super insanely quiet. I don't like a lot of noise. Um, because here you got to keep the windows open. Other than the occasional dog barking in the neighborhood, I don't. It doesn't really bother me. But when I hear a dog incessantly barking, that bugs the crap out of me. It hits. It's like nails on a chalkboard. But what I meant is like construction work, traffic, you know, that kind of thing. You'll get that occasional construction work around here. You'll get that occasional music, somebody playing music, but it's not every day. And it's definitely not road noise. Road noise would drive me insane. I live next to a highway. You get used to it. I remember I lived in Toronto. I lived next to the Gardner Expressway, which is an elevated expressway. So 24 hours a day. There's that. It becomes white noise after a while. And I remember waking up one morning, and at the time I was either with my ex-wife, or she was my girlfriend, or I was living. Oh no, we were living together at the time. I remember the apartment because we woke up one morning, one Sunday morning or Saturday morning, and it was strange. I was like, "There's no noise," and we ran to the window to look at the highway, and they had closed it for the marathon. So it hit you that hard, not having that incessant noise in the background. And then when we moved to the countryside, the first night sleeping, couldn't sleep. It was too quiet. So when we moved from Toronto to Milton, Milton is a small town, and we were living on the edge of town next to the lake. Lake was like 100 meters away, and there was no road noise or anything like that. Couldn't sleep the first couple of nights. First week, it took a while to fall asleep because that incessant noise was like rhythmic. Yeah, you know. When you're younger, you can get used to it, and it doesn't bother you as much. But now, noise, especially road noise, would be annoying to me, especially in Sri Lanka because they like to use the horn. And the tuk-tuks don't have mufflers, so it's very loud. And the buses tooting and honking every 5 minutes. So if you live near a road, it's not just one bus, it's every bus that passes your point will be tooting and honking. And especially if you live like near where vehicles need to accelerate, oh, forget about it. Forget about it. So when you're traveling looking for that place, you have to take into account the things that will annoy you. So that's why you need to live in a place for a week to hear, to smell, to see what happens in that area. Can you live there forever or for a long extended period of time? Then the next thing, and here's the most important thing that people forget, okay, is the weather. What is the weather like? And I tell you this, guys, right? Thailand is beautiful, but I will not be in certain parts of that country in certain parts times of the year. So starting next month, for the next 4 months, Eastern Thailand, the entire east part of Thailand is, and then the eastern coast of the west part of Thailand, and the entire north is just forget about it. I don't want to be anywhere near those places because of the rain, the non-stop rain, like days of rain, and the flooding, and in the north, the landslides, and then in the spring, from Bangkok, well, from Pattaya all the way up north, it's the burning season. The air pollution is awful. I was in Thailand in August, and it was awful. Absolutely. No, when was I in Thailand? Yes, in August. No, sorry, February. Sorry, January, February, end of January, right? And that's the burning season, the beginning of the spring planting. It's awful. Um, and was not pleasant. And you have to find the place that where the weather fits your needs. Now, I am not going to settle down in one place, not right away. I will eventually. And that one place will probably be the Philippines. I will make Philippines my home base. Eventually. Well, that is that is 3 to 5 years away. Sorry, no, that is 5 to 10 years away. So here's my retirement schedule. I will fully retire in 3.5 years. I'll have enough money to retire in 3.5 years. In 8.5 years, I can do whatever I want because that's when my two pensions kick in 3.5 years and in 8.5 years. So those two pensions will cover me for life. I have no worries after that. For the next 3.5 years, I have to work a little bit. I keep working less and to top up my current funds, like my retirement funds. And I can either live off of those or like tap into the capital or just live off the interest, which is what I plan on doing for the next 3.5 years. So once the pension and the old age security kick in, those are going to be my inflationary blankets. So to cover any inflationary costs. Now those pensions increase the cost of living. That's my Canada pension and my old age security. Now I'm not relying on those because those are government pensions. So they're not a huge amount of money, but they're enough money that it's going to supplement my current pension. So my personal funds. Those amounts are going to be basically a safety net for me. And then 20 years from now, my inheritance. 20, 25 years from now. So that's all covered. That's all planned for covering for inflation and future medical costs. So I've got everything planned out. What I'm talking about with most people is you got to find the place, like I've been saying, where you fit. I still haven't found it. It's either going to be Thailand or Philippines. Now, I haven't thought that far ahead yet. That's 5 to 10 years down the road. The interim is going to be a nomadic lifestyle for the next, so after 3.5 years, okay, so 2028, 2029, um, then I will find a new home base, right? My new home base will be probably Philippines because it has a 3-year tourist visa for Canadians. Well, for most people. But I'm not going to be spending that much time there. The most I will spend in the Philippines is like 5 or 6 months. And then I'm going to do a rotation around Southeast Asia. Guys, can you just give me 1 second? I had to bring in the clothes. It looks like it's going to rain, or not rain, but drizzle. Um, so I think what my plan is for the next 3.5 years is to kind of take a step back from traveling too much. I'm spending way too much money traveling. Um, I'm spending way too much on vacations. And what I need to do is I need to focus on more of maybe a 6 month adventure in 2 locations so that I can get used to this traveling thing. So I'm going to spend 6 months traveling and then come back home for 6 months and then do another 6 months, come home for a year and then do another 6 months. So it's different times of year, right? So that I can get used to this cycle of weather. So I asked ChatGTP and I use ChatGTP. This is not sponsored. I just love that app, especially the paid app. There's 3 levels: free, middle, and high. The middle one is perfectly fine. Wow. The amount of information I get, the amount of like a personal assistant, like remember things about me and then use that information in the next one that I'm asking about, especially when it comes to the YouTube channel. But it knows that I like beaches and I like and my passport and my citizenship and where I like to go and all of the things that I like. It remembers, and I keep asking it questions about this, and it comes back. Well, since I know that you like this, 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 and this is what I suggest. So I said, knowing what I like and my passport, and look at the visa requirements for a tourist for these 4 countries, 3 countries, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Philippines. Look at political issues and situations, especially in Philippines and Thailand. I like beaches and I like non-touristy locations, remote, and plan a route that avoids the rainy season in each one of these locations where I can spend the maximum allowed on my visa. So, for example, Thailand 60 days, Vietnam 90 days, Philippines unlimited, um, Cambodia 60 days, etc., etc. So it planned a route around that triangle to avoid the rainy season and gave me locations. So because I have long visa, I can get a long visa in Philippines. I think it'll be easier if I base myself in Philippines for 5 months, 6 months, and then travel as I need to places like Thailand and whatever, Vietnam, Cambodia. There's only really two places to go in Cambodia because it's very small ocean front land. Indonesia, I'm not kind of interested in going to Bali. I'm just not interested in Bali. I'll eventually head down there, and I'll eventually head down to Indochina. Sorry, Indochina is the old name, but Indonesia and southern parts below the equator. Um, so, you know, once, like, this is, I don't want to be morbid or anything like that, but, my parents are getting old. So once that part of my life is taken care of, you know what I mean, that I no longer have to worry about that part of my life, then there's no reason to come back to Sri Lanka. The only reason I'm here is to take care of mom and dad. Once that is no longer required, I don't have to come back to Sri Lanka. So, I'll always have a house here, I think. I don't know. Once that part of my life is over, sell the house and then invest that money into maybe a small house, because you kind of have to have a home base. I mean, this house is too big, and I would like to live. If I lived here in Sri Lanka, I'd like to live in the southern parts of the country. Even though the rainy season in this part of the country is not that bad, whereas in the southern part it is much worse. But here's the thing: if I lived here, I wouldn't live here during the rainy season, right? So the idea is that according to ChatGTP, I can spend the visa limit. Um, I can get the visa limit and travel to a beach without experiencing rainy season. There is because I'm a Sri Lankan citizen. I don't know a lot about visas, but I did look at a couple of visas. There is the My Dream Home Sri Lankan visa, and it's a retirement visa for foreign citizens to live here for long term. And every 2 years, you can renew this visa. And I don't remember. You have to invest a certain amount of money. 15,000 US dollars, and then you have to show an income of 1,500 US dollars per month per per adult, and 750 uh, US dollars per dependent, so under 18. Here's a link check this link out. Now, I don't know if this is a government website. Okay, I think this is an immigration broker. Okay, so don't contact them. Contact the Sri Lankan embassy in Japan. Okay, talk to them directly. Go to their website. Okay, that is their job, is to talk about visas. Okay, for Japanese citizens. So because this is the consulate or embassy of Sri Lanka in Japan, they deal specifically with Japanese citizens wanting information about Sri Lanka, specifically investment and visas. So talk to the Sri Lankan embassy. Don't talk to anyone else, okay? This is my advice from having lived in 3 different countries and traveled the world and having 2 different passports. Dealing with your local embassy in your country is the best way to deal with it. I tried to deal with the Sri Lankan embassy, the Canadian embassy the Sri Lankan embassy in Korea. They couldn't help me because they only deal with Korean citizens. They didn't deal with Canadian citizens. And it was a huge problem because they didn't have any information. Yeah, thank you. Please. That's a huge problem, is dealing with these visa brokers. They're not, some are not reputable, so you don't know what's going on. But basically, what it says here is that it'll cost you 15,000 US dollars to invest in a term deposit at the bank. So you'll earn interest, 8%. And then you have to show that you're receiving or will receive 1,500 US dollars per adult, 750 US dollars per child coming into the country every month. Now, that may have changed, it may have updated or reduced, I'm not sure. So there's a process in doing this, so follow that process. It costs like $150. But yeah, there are some long-term visas, and and yeah, so find out what is available. So my suggestion is to contact the Sri Lankan embassy or the consulate in your city to ask about what retirement class visas are available for Japanese citizens. And they will provide you all of the information for free, and all the paperwork, and they'll help you with the paperwork because that's what they do. Their job is to help Japanese citizens connect to Sri Lanka, either financially or for travel. So, and that's what you have to show. You have to show that you have that income. So you have to show like bank statements or tax records, and this is the information I don't know because I don't have a retirement visa in any country. I have a permanent residence in Korea and tourist visas in every other country. Okay, so I haven't stayed long enough, and I don't want to stay long enough. If I do Thailand, it'll be the DTV, which is the new long visa that they have. It's really cheap, and it's for digital nomads. In Philippines, I can stay 3 years consecutively, but I'll never stay longer than that. I'll always travel out, and not a visa run. So that's the other thing. Don't do visa runs. You can maybe get away with it once, but if you do it more than a few times, you're going to get called out. But if you leave for like 6 months and then come back, not a problem. And that's what I'm going to do. So my plan is in 1 year, I'll spend 2 times in Thailand, 1 time in Vietnam, and the rest in Philippines. Maybe with a break in Sri Lanka. Maybe, but I doubt it because traveling back to Sri Lanka is a long flight. Between Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam is 1 hour, 1 hour and a half from Philippines, right? So, um, yeah, I'm glad we were able to talk about retirement. This is going to be the focus of my channel from now on is the retirement life, the retirement lifestyle, investment, health. I'm going to talk a lot about health because that's important. Health care. I'm going to focus a little bit more on that. Food, cost of living. I'm not going to do as many touristy things for the rest of this year. There's enough people doing that. And you're not coming to Sri Lanka to be a tourist, you're coming to Sri Lanka to live. So I'm going to talk about cost of living, healthcare, transportation, domestic help, internet. We're going to touch on politics and where it relates to the lifestyle and cost of living, not politics in general, because I don't care. I can vote in 3 countries. I don't vote. I haven't voted in 20 years, maybe 22 years. I haven't voted. I can vote in 3 countries. I have 2 elections coming up, one in Canada, one in Korea, and one in Sri Lanka. Oh, all three. Not Korea is presidential, Canada is prime minister, like federal, and Sri Lanka is local elections. So I have 3 elections coming up in the next 6 months, in a few months, and I'm not voting in any of them. But I'm going to touch base on a lot of things that I hope will help you guys answer any questions you have about um, retiring and specifically, like I'm not gonna. It's not a. I'm not gonna like give advice. I'm just gonna talk about what I'm doing and what I've experienced in my travels in Southeast Asia. So, like, my focus is going to be on presenting what I'm doing. But if you guys have specific questions, I can, you know, try to the best of my ability offer advice. Um, Being that, you know, I'm not an expert in anything. I'm an expert in, you know, doing nothing. If that's what you want, if you want advice on doing nothing, then I'm the guy to come to. All right, guys, I want to say thank you again for joining, especially our new friend from Japan. I'm sorry I don't know your name, but I want to say thank you so much. Arigato gozaimasu. Sorry, I butchered that. It's been a long time since I've spoken Japanese, maybe 5 years. Sorry, longer than that. The last time I went to Japan was before COVID. So 2018 was the last time I went to Japan. I miss it so much. I used to have so much fun in Roppongi, in Fukuoka. Love Fukuoka. What a party town. My gosh. Osaka. But when I went to Tokyo, I used to hang out I have friends in Roppongi. Toru, nice to meet you, my friend. Please, next time you come, hit me up. My email address. That's my email address. All right. Um, Hit me up, and I'll offer you any advice or help that you need. We can hit up on WhatsApp or Facebook or whatever, Line. I have them all. Kakao. we can meet up online, and I can help out in any way I can. Okay, I want to wish you Toru a very happy Sinhala and Tamil New Year, uh, and to all of you, please learn to live life. Don't let life live you. Be good to each other. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. I'm Sri Lankan Sammy, wishing you all the best for the Sri Lankan New Year. Love you all. We'll see you all on the other side.